It's a bird that I know they're going to be everywhere in a matter of weeks, but right now there just don't seem to be any around, and it's frustrating.
In early March, we issued a birding challenge to our viewers to find 3 specific species: the Song Sparrow, the Northern Shoveler, and the Eastern or Western Meadowlark. Determined to complete this challenge myself, I've been out scouring my home state of Wisconsin trying to find these 3 birds. Having already located a Northern Shoveler, I turned my attention to the other 2.
Hey everyone, this is Ryan from Badgerland Birding, and today I am looking for my last 2 challenge birds, the Eastern Meadowlark and or the Song Sparrow. I'm at a spot where I found Eastern Meadowlarks before, but it's still a bit early for them in the middle of March, but I'm hoping I can at least pull out a Song Sparrow from this area. It is a big flat space with a couple of trees, a couple of shrubby spots, and a cornfield near it. So let's see what bird species we can find here, and hopefully we'll get one of our 2 species we have left.
My search area consisted of a large field with short grass bordering corn stubble and woods. The combination of open space with trees to perch on made for great habitat for birds. I found a red-tailed hawk and a few killdeer, all very active in the warm sunshine of March. Although this was by far the nicest day of the year, one aspect of the spring weather was causing problems.
Thus far, I've found a killdeer that I actually got to take a look at. I've heard a lot of them in my birding this March, but this is the first one I actually got to see. There's a lot of them out here. You can hear their calls. The hardest thing so far has been the wind. It is absolutely brutal to try to hear when there's large gusts of wind. Otherwise, the weather is amazing right now, but the wind is tough because the best way to find the Eastern Meadowlark and the Song Sparrow is going to be to hear them. And if I can't do that, then it's going to be tough.
Although the wind was a major issue when listening for faint or distant calls, one species that was still easy to hear was the red-winged blackbird. I followed their distinctive sounds up a hill where I finally got some looks at them. However, the Eastern Meadowlark remained elusive.
This is definitely really good Eastern Meadowlark habitat, but I did not hear or see any here. I know that they've been in Milwaukee, I know they've been in Dane County, that's the Madison area, so they've definitely come up those migratory flyways, but there are none at this particular spot. So I'm going to turn my attention to the Song Sparrow. I know of a marsh that I can go to that they might be at, so let's go see if we can find some Song Sparrows.
To do this, I headed for the Ice Age wetland of Heartland, where the trails wind through forests and marshes, a perfect place for song sparrows as well as many other species.
This area is absolutely beautiful and it's really birdy so far. I haven't heard song sparrows yet, but I've seen dark-eyed juncos, a couple of American goldfinches, and I also heard a red-bellied woodpecker. The trail is really gushy though, so I'm kind of trying to step on the leaf litter on the sides of it, but it's a very cool area.
I continued on the paths finding an American robin, and also coming upon a welcome respite from the muddy terrain.
We have a nice little boardwalk here that I'm going to try. Like I said earlier, I've heard tons of different birds. Chickadees now I've heard as well, but just have not seen or heard anything from the Song Sparrow yet, which, like the Meadowlark, I know that they're back in this area. There just don't seem to be any at this spot yet.
In this open area, I got a brief glimpse of 2 sandhill cranes flying over, a classic springtime sight in the Midwest. But the experience of searching for the Song Sparrow and coming up empty was starting to feel familiar.
This is starting to somewhat remind me of completing Stefano's challenge with the fox sparrow, where it's a bird that I know they're going to be everywhere in a matter of weeks, but right now there just don't seem to be any around, and it's frustrating because usually in summer you can hear them everywhere, and they're just so easy to find, but right now nothing.
A day later, I made a trip to the flooded fields and marshes of a part of the state directly under a migratory flyway, in hopes of finding waterfowl and, of course, a song sparrow. At my first location, I was scanning through flocks of geese when I heard a familiar call.
I'm back trying to find a song sparrow, and I'm pretty sure that I just heard one out in Columbia County. I'm here looking at some geese, and out of my left ear, I heard that distinctive song. So I'm going to try and track this bird down, see if we can get the song sparrow to get 2 out of 3 in the March challenge.
I waited for a while, hoping the sparrow would make itself visible. In spite of hearing many different calls, the sparrows refused to provide any clear looks.
I hear a couple song sparrows in there, but I cannot get a visual on one yet. Well, I kind of can. They're fluttering around, but I haven't gotten a firm look. So I'm still trying to wait to see if one will pop up on the reed somewhere, but they're definitely here.
Eventually, one of the sparrows popped up, even calling out in the open. In the Midwest and Canada, the song sparrow is one of the earliest arriving sparrow species. For the rest of the country, this species is considered a winter visitor or a year-round resident. When they're in the area, they're typically very noticeable with their loud and distinctive calls and habit of sitting up and singing. To identify this species, look for a sparrow with an overall gray color with reddish-brown on the wings and tail. They have brown stripes on the crown of the head, face, and chest. Some of the stripes on the chest are blotchy, making it look like they have a brown ink spot on an otherwise bright white chest and underside. Look for song sparrows in open areas such as fields, marshes, and grasslands with plants or structure that they can sit on. This species feeds on insects and other invertebrates in the warmer months, in addition to seeds and fruit when insects aren't around. For the rest of the day, seemingly every location I went to had song sparrows calling. It was interesting to see how one day the song sparrows were nowhere to be found, and just one day later, they had arrived in large quantities.
It's really funny because yesterday I tried so hard to find a song sparrow and had just absolutely no luck. And then just 2 counties over today, they're all over the place calling, sitting up. So it's just really funny what difference a day and a couple of counties over can make.
For the rest of the spring and summer, the song sparrows will be extremely numerous and noticeable in this part of the country. It was exciting to get my second bird from the March Migration Madness Challenge, and I hope everyone else is doing well completing their challenge too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.